Hey guys, so we're going to finish up our Super Salve recipe. So here's what you're going to need. You're going to need a pan, a strainer in the pan, and I like to use new sheets that I buy at the thrift store. So about 1 foot to 18 inches laid right inside your strainer. Okay? Then you're going to push that down. You're going to set your strainer into the pan. Once you pour your herbal oil in there, you'll be able to gather this up and twist it off. So let me show you what that looks like. But first, you'll also need the containers, the essential oil blend, and this is going to give you enough to make at least 2, maybe 3. The essential oil blend will give you 2. Batches of this because it's a very small recipe. That's why it took me so long to put this together, because the recipe is incredibly small. Also, you'll need your beeswax and coconut oil. Oh, you'll need a small funnel so that when you're pouring the salve, as it is a liquid warmed into this, it doesn't spill, or some type of a lipped pan. And you'll need a small glass. You can get these at Walmart, measuring cup. This one goes up to 5 ounces. That's as big as you need, because this only holds 2.25 ounces. The other small clear plastic container holds 1 ounce. So let's get started and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, so I'm going to pull this out of here and I'm going to dry this jar off completely. I do not want any water in this oil. I also had it on warm. You see the condensation? I had it on warm so that it would, so that the oil would flow through the strainer better. Okay, so once you're sure that your jar is completely dry, you're just gonna open it up. It may be a little sealed. And you're going to pour your oil right into that pan and strainer sheet. And you want to, this will give you plenty of room. Make sure it doesn't fall in there. It's much like straining milk. If you've had a cow or a goat, you don't want to use a cheesecloth or a jelly cloth. They allow too much debris to go through. So that's why I use a sheet. And you can buy brand new sheets at places like Dirt Cheap or thrift stores for $1. This is a brand new sheet, never used. And you're just going to squeeze all of that oil out into your pan. You're going to have enough oil to transfer to another jar. And you'll see how it's... Uh-oh, hold on one second. Okay, so we're squeezing as much as we can out. You'll notice the color is neon green, which is the color of the Super Salve. Okay. And I just throw this whole thing away. You can put it in your garden. You can put it in your compost. But your sheet's going to be ruined. It's not going to be usable again. All right. I'm going to move it over to the sink just to get out of the way and show you what it looks like in the pot. Okay, so there you go. You may see a little bit of what looks like herbal debris, but it's really not. It's more like the herbal properties. If you use the sheet, there should not be anything in there. If you do see like it looks like there's maybe one spot right there, you can just, with a clean utensil, get that out. Because if you're using this on wounds, you do not want anything in it. Okay, now this is where you're going to need your funnel. You're going to need your small measuring cup. You're only going to need 1.5 ounces of this oil. If you're measuring by milliliters, you need to know milliliters go 15 is a half an ounce, 30 is a full ounce. We are almost there. So we've got 1.5 ounces of our oil. We're going to put that into a clean pot. And I'm just going to move this out of the way. We're going to do 1.25 ounces of the organic beeswax. Woo! Stuff wants to jump everywhere. Hang on one second. I said 1.25. I'm sorry. It's 1.5. So 1.5 ounces of the organic beeswax. And by the time you shake it down, it's more like 1.25 probably, but we're not going to hard pack it. We're just putting it in our pot. Okay, and I'll get a spoon and scrape the rest out. But that's 1.5 ounces of the herbal oil, 1.5 ounces of beeswax. The next ingredient is organic coconut oil. You want the creamy consistency or the one with the lumps in it, not the liquid. You're going to use 1 tablespoon. That is basically 1/2 ounce. If you this helps it to absorb better because the beeswax and the olive oil are so thick. So in my skincare products that I sell, I make anything that I have olive oil, which is a super emollient and very beneficial oil as far as antiseptic properties. But you want another oil in there that makes it more absorbable to the skin. So you've got 1.5 ounces beeswax, 1.5 ounces of your herb oil, and you've got a tablespoon of your coconut oil. All right, lastly, you're gonna put this on medium. You can kind of put it up towards high because you're gonna notice your beeswax is gonna be harder to melt, but as soon as that joker starts melting, you're gonna turn it down between medium and low. Okay, it takes a minute for the beeswax to start melting in with your other oils. You will have gotten a 1/2 ounce or 14. This is a 15 milliliter container. It took me a minute to get this small recipe made, so that's why my top is off. Once you get your top off, you're only gonna use 1/2 of this. So you do have enough to make this twice if you buy the kit. Okay, so there we are. And we're gonna go check on our oil. Okay, so as soon as those beeswax pellets start to melt, I take it off the eye, I stir it, and then we're gonna add, this is the last thing because these are so heat sensitive, 1/2 of the 14 milliliters. I'm not measuring it, I'm just judging. Bam, that's right at 1/2. We're gonna stir it and put it into our containers. So I really need like a better way of doing this, but you're gonna put your funnel into your container while trying to film it. Like I can do this when I'm not trying to film it, but filming it makes it hard. So let me see if I can flip it around. So this is really hard to do with one hand filming and one hand pouring. But you see, you get the idea. You can hold it with one hand and pour with the other, but that's what it's gonna look like. You don't fill it up to the rim. Some of it will dry in the funnel and some of it will collect in your pan. So I went to fill the 1 ounce container up and it was just shy. So I'm gonna just lightly heat this up and pour it in the 1 ounce container. And once they are totally cooled, I give them a few hours to sit, burp, and cool. Then you are able to put your label on. All right, so that's what it's gonna look like when you put your label on, and it will probably burp because of your little piece in the middle, but that's what it should look like on top. You may be lucky and it may not burp. Anyway, check us out at missysnaturals.com. You can get 10% off of the kit or the Super Salve itself by using the code EVERYTHING. Have a blessed day, y'all.